We've got some massive stories to get through. I hope you are very well. Meghan Markle creates a power base with a new head of operations to help build her media and business empire. But is Harry being frozen out? Meghan admits that she's not quite the cook that she pretends to be. I've got the truth about what she actually serves those kids for dinner, plus the eye-watering cost of running their Monteito mansion. No wonder they are so desperate for publicity. No wonder they're so desperate for money. And new footage emerges showing that the Sussexes' trip to a Beyonce concert was far from the joyful affair that they claimed, with the Duke looking more miserable than ever. But first, a well-placed royal insider has revealed to Hello magazine that Buckingham Palace do not feel it will ever be safe to enter into any kind of discussions with Prince Harry. There are now deep concerns from within the firm, as the monarchy's inner circle is known, that the Duke will never behave with discretion, that he'll never behave with integrity, and that anything said between him and his father and brother in particular could be leaked to the press, twisted, reinterpreted, and most worryingly, potentially weaponized against the family. Now, this figure from within royal circles has said that the family feels that private conversations with Harry are simply no longer possible. They told Hello magazine that there's now zero trust in the Duke of Sussex. Imagine not being able to trust your own son and your own brother. Well, that is where King Charles and Prince William now reside. Isn't that tragic? Zero trust in Prince Harry, understandably so. Now, let me give you more on this. The insider said that Harry needs the world to forgive him. His family have never bent on their stance, which is that he should not take up issues in public. Well, of course, they are right about that. The royal source goes on to say, it's taking its toll. Harry sees everything everywhere. He picks battles with everyone, and that's tiring. It is tiring. We're all exhausted, aren't we, by Harry's relentless tantrums. But the latest drama is about trust too. And the fact is the firm do not trust Harry as far as they can throw him. Which, by the way, is not very far these days because old Prince Harry's turning into a bit of a porker, isn't he? He's a little pudgy. He's the pudgy prince. Prince Harry, the world's least happy millionaire and one of the pudgiest. Oh, I'm going to eat some more of Meghan's pretzels. Not great. Not like William, who's so lean and chiseled. How lean is William? I would imagine, I've not seen the Prince of Wales topless, but I've got no doubt that guy is rocking a six-pack. I'm certain of it. Don't you think? Wouldn't it be nice? Would it not be? Listen, don't get me wrong. I'm a happily married heterosexual man. But I'd pay to see a photograph of Prince William with no shirt on, you know. Do you remember that advert in was it the 90s? Diet Coke? Da-na-na-na-na, Diet Coke break. And you got the builders in New York in the blazing sunshine. And they take their they take their shirt off to do this construction work. And it was very much of its time, this advert. Probably a little bit sexist, which is that the ladies in the office were kind of looking out the window and enjoying. I think the ladies were drinking their Diet Coke whilst watching these men working outside. Anyway, there you go. So I would certainly pay to see William with no shirt on, only to admire the muscle mass of the guy, how lean he is and how chiseled. Because he is so chiseled. I asked you in the comments, by the way, about his hairstyle. I said, should he shave it off? Should he just... Should he give it the full Bruce Willis? Because I think we can agree that Bruce Willis, the wonderful Bruce Willis, is the standard bearer for what a man that's losing his hair should be. Bruce Willis was the way to go, because in the 70s it was the comb over. By the way, lots of people think this is a comb over. Look at that. See, you are part of the Mark Dolan Show family, so I show you everything. There are no secrets here. What's mine is yours, and I'm going to show you my hair. This is my hair. It's not a comb over. I'll tug it if you like. So, but I mean, I've got to say, if my hair fell out, I would be tempted to shave it all off. But I asked you in the comments, and most of you said no. William's hair's perfect, leave it as it is. Because what the Windsors tend to go for is they let the baldness happen at the top, and then they keep the hair on the sides, which is old school and dignified. But I don't know what the deal is. But old Bruce Willis is he's a standard bearer because he just shaved it all off and became quite the sex symbol, didn't he? Anyhow, so there we are. This is Harry, who has now reached the point of no return with his father and his brother. You see, because, and you'll know this from your own relationships, from your friendships, from your family situation. You know as well as I do that if there's no trust, there is no relationship, because trust is the basic foundation of a relationship. I mean, you need to have things in common. You need to like each other. Love helps. But trust is the non-negotiable. That is the lowest common denominator. And Harry's turned into the lowest of the low. Isn't it devastating that this well-placed royal insider said that there is zero trust now in Harry? And that makes a reconciliation so impossible. And they know why. Because Harry will go into Clarence House or Buckingham Palace and he'll listen to what's said, and it will go through what I would call his victim filter. And they'll say, Harry, you need to atone for your crimes. You need to apologise for what you've done for the family. And he'll go, oh, so it's my fault then, is it? And then bang, he's the victim all over again. He goes to the press, he goes to Meghan, he goes, they attacked me horribly. And they said it was all my fault. No, they asked you to apologise. So Harry twists everything. He leaks stuff. He can't be trusted. And we know why he can't be trusted. Because Harry used to be able to be trusted because he was a regular guy and he served in the military and he liked a beer and he chased girls. And he was the most popular member of the royal family, ahead even of Queen Elizabeth II. So he was very popular and he could be trusted at the time. He was a team player, did so much for the family, made the family very popular. So why has he become so untrustworthy? Why has he become so toxic? Why has he become so bitter? Why does Harry now hate the world? Why is that? Well, I've got a 2-word answer for you. My husband! It's Meg's, isn't it? Meghan Markle. Don't you know? I'm not Meghan Markle anymore. I'm Meghan Sussex. Don't you forget that, or I'll banish you from my kingdom. Princess Catherine is my friend. I like Princess Catherine. Upon her, I wish no harm. By the way, how terrifying is Meghan Markle? Just on a side note, do you not think there's a darkness there? There's something in those eyes. It would chill you to the bone. Meghan's angry stare. Poor Harry. What he puts up with. So that's why he's turned toxic. That's why he can't be trusted. That's why he leaks to the press. And why he victimizes. It turns everything into a victim. Makes himself a victim. It's because of my husband. It's her, not him. But what I will say, I'm going to defend Meghan a bit here because, and by the way, so many stories to get through today, so we must crack on. And I'd appreciate it if you didn't keep interrupting me where I go off-piste. I'm doing my best to deliver this information, and then you jump in asking me supplementary questions, which affects my... It affects my... She's terrifying. Meghan's terrifying. We'll get to her power base in just a second. But Harry is the way he is because of that marriage. We know that. But I have said in the past, actually, fair play to Meghan, right? Because Meghan does what Meghan's going to do, right? Meghan is a symptom of Harry's naivety and stupidity. Because there are loads of Meghan Markles out there. There are actually millions of Meghan Markles around the world. People who are narcissistic, who are controlling, who are bullies, who are attention-seeking, who are negative, who are toxic. We've all worked with people like that. We've had family members like that and colleagues. We've come across people that are like that. And hopefully most of the time when you detect that, then you cut those people out of your life. And so actually, for Harry, if it wasn't Meghan, it probably would have been some other lady that would have taken advantage of him and manipulated him and toxified him, essentially. It just happens to have been Meghan. And I will say that he's old enough and ugly enough to make his own decisions. He was a grown man when he left the UK and gave up his royal duties. He was a grown man when he signed that publishing deal with HarperCollins for Spare, which was a source of great discomfort and stress to the Queen Elizabeth at the time, because she had to worry what's going to be in that book. This is as she battled ill health and as she mourned the passing of Prince Philip, she had to worry what was going to be in this tell-all book. And of course, as you know, not knowing about something is far worse than what it might actually be. It's the fear that really, really will bother you. And the Queen was so unwell at the time. Did it hasten her passing? Well, I'm in no position to say that. I'm not a physician. I'm not a doctor, or I think I have a doctor way about me. I can't lie. I would have a bedside manner if I'd been good at science, which sadly I wasn't. I think I'd have loved to have been a doctor, wandering around the wards, taking people's pulses, giving them the medication, a little bit of surgery. Come on, Dr. Dolan! It wasn't meant to be. So I had to be in. Do you know what I had to do in the end? I had to drop royal truth bombs. That was my calling, and here we are. So he was old enough to take responsibility for what he did. He was old enough to sign that book deal, to sit there next to Meghan as she lambasted, libeled and slandered the royal family in front of Oprah Winfrey on the TV interview. He was there for the Netflix documentary when Meghan mocked Queen Elizabeth, who is one of the greatest Britons in history, and she dared to mock Queen Elizabeth. I mean, it's just unreal. Because you see, Meghan's got no respect for anyone, right? There is no, because she's a narcissist, no one is better than Meghan, even Queen Elizabeth, okay? It's how she operates. She's the greatest. But anyway, I still blame Harry ultimately, because he was a grown man when he let all of that happen. It all happened on his watch, and he should have taken one look at Meghan and went, this lady is a troublemaker, I'm out. Instead, he was all in with Meghan, and look at the price he has paid. So, listen, this royal insider has also said, they said that he picks battles with everyone. It's tiring. It is tiring. We're all exhausted, aren't we, by this couple? And the insider goes on, you can't live in permanent battle mode. The insider says Harry is a 40-year-old man. He's got to stop fighting the world. This is so true. If only someone could get through to Harry and convey that wise message. And I really agree with the excellent royal editor of the Daily Mail, Rebecca English, who described his recent actions, including that terrible BBC interview, as a monumental hissy fit. She said some aspects of it are really very disturbing. She's absolutely right. It is a hissy fit. This guy's a diva. He's a prima donna. He's entitled and he's terribly spoiled. And don't tell me that Prince Harry is this nice guy, or to quote Shakespeare, a man more sinned against than sinning. So sorry. I'm going to have to beg to differ on that one. Harry is the sinner here. Now, I was raised a Roman Catholic and I believe in forgiveness. I will always forgive. Where there's an apology, but we've not had anything like an apology from Harry over the years. No, quite the opposite. Just doubling down. So there you go. Quite shocking. And Harry, silly, silly boy. Now, Meghan Markle. Don't you know I'm Meghan Sussex now? Has appointed her first chief of staff, Sarah Fosmo. Sarah, they said in a tedious public announcement, because Meghan thinks she's the president or something, so there must be a public statement with, of course, the royal crest and her little monogrammed M and the Sussex brand. It sickens me that this couple still use their Sussex moniker, given that they've done such damage to the family that gave them that title in the first place. A gift from the Queen on the occasion of their wedding. And they've used that moniker, Duke and Duchess of Sussex, to attack the institution that was so generous to them. Anyhow, so they've made this statement because they've got delusions of grandeur. And this poor lady is called Sarah Fosmo, who's going to have to deal with the Duchess for the next few weeks. I say next few weeks because she'll be gone by the summer. Because this couple get through staff members like James Corden gets through Krispy Kreme donuts. So here's the statement. No one cares about this statement. Why is there a statement? Why is there a statement? What's the announcement here? This is not like a peace deal in Ukraine, folks. All right? This is not the Federal Reserve's latest judgment on interest rates. This is a pair of losers in a Monteito mansion with ideas above their station. And with Meghan having this complete illusion that she's running a business empire. More on that shortly. So here's the statement. Sarah, our proud senior hire as Chief of Staff for the Duchess of Sussex, brings a wealth of experience perfectly suited to guide the Sussexes' ambitious ventures, including a new business, podcast, and a television project. So, sorry, because it was so badly written. I mean, why they couldn't have put that statement through Grammarly, which checks your grammar. They're going to have a new business, a podcast, and a television product. May God help us. They go on, her expertise and steady leadership are critical to navigating this dynamic period of growth. By the way, can I just tell you what this dynamic period of growth involves? Selling 11 jars of jam in mail order. Meghan reckons that she sold out of jam. She had 11 jars, which, in inverted commas, completely sold out, and we're so excited. So Sarah Fosmo is 45, but she's going to look about 80 by the time she moves on, because life working for the Sussexes is absolutely miserable. Crystal meth, very, very tragic drug, isn't it? An illegal narcotic. Have you seen those pictures of people before and after with the crystal meth? And it's a tragedy. It is a tragedy. And they go in, they're like in their 20s and they get on this terrible stuff. And within 2 weeks, it's like, it's not a good look. And poor old Sarah Fosmo, right? She's 45. I've got no doubt she's a very talented and experienced professional. Got no doubt she's brilliant at what she does. I've got no doubt that Sarah Fosmo is awesome. And I've got no doubt she's a fine looking lady too. But honestly, what is it now? We're in May. By early June, she'll be like, no sleep, stressed, PTSD as a result of working with Duchess Difficult. She worked at Gates Ventures, working for Bill Gates, another questionable personality. She worked with Tony Robbins for 7 years as a senior executive assistant. I'm a really big fan of Tony Robbins. Do you know who he is? He's this self-help guru. He's a great guy. His videos are fantastic. He sold books around the world. Big fan of Tony Robbins. She's going to need the support of Tony Robbins when she worked for the Sussexes. She's going to need a few pep talks. She'll be like, Tony, help me. I've just received the 1,000th email of the day from Princess Tippy Toes, from Duchess Difficult. And Tony Robbins would be like, you got to get out of that relationship. She's a negative person. She's a narcissist. You need to grow spiritually. You can't do that with someone as venomous as her. You need to move on and get her out. You need to fire Meghan Markle. There you go. That's my Tony Robbins impersonation. This poor woman is now going to be in charge of the Netflix show We Love Meghan, one of the most despised programs in the history of television. She's going to help out with the Confessions of a Female Founder podcast, hosted by Meghan, right? That title is stolen from another podcast, and Meghan's not a founder of anything. She's founded nothing. Meghan Markle is not a founder. She has founded nothing. All Meghan Markle's done, she found a prince. Okay? That's not founding. She's not a founder. She found a naive, rather thick, ginger-haired prince, who had gone on to become the world's least happy millionaire. She's also in charge, this poor lady, this very nice lady called Sarah Fosmo, who I've got no doubt is, I've got no doubt, not that it matters, but I would imagine she's a fine looking lady. And by summer, just is where it's headed. Paul. I mean, I might reach out to her. I wonder whether the Mark Dolan show should stage an intervention and help this poor lady. And, when it's all going horribly wrong in 2 weeks' time, we're just going to get her out. We'll use the resources of this community, you and I together, Let's stage almost like a coup. We get into Monteito and get that poor woman off the compound. Because let's be honest, it's like a cult. And I think we can take Harry as well. By the way, when they divorce, and I say that with no pleasure, but the couple will split, take my word for it. When Harry and Meghan split, he will have to have therapy for that. And it'll be like leaving a cult. That's how he'll have to decompress. Because that's what the Monteito mansion is. It isn't a home, it is a compound. Okay, it's the headquarters of Meghan Markle, Inc. So Sarah Fosmo is now having to deal with this nightmare. And what she's going to get is hundreds of emails at 5 a.m. from the Duchess, which is what previous employees of the Sussexes had to deal with. Aggressive 5 a.m. emails, and she expects an instant response. I don't know why Meghan wakes up so early, but I think it's perhaps a guilty conscience, you know. She must be tormented by her own dark nature that it wakes her up at night. She must get, like fever dreams and things like that, and flashbacks to her own bullying behavior. Will there ever be a moment of truth for Meghan when she looks at herself in the mirror and realizes who she is? So this poor lady's going to get emails at 5 a.m. And also Sarah Fosmo, the Fozzie Bear, the F-bomb, she is going to be made to cry a lot. I say that, by the way, that's not sexist, because she makes everyone cry, Meghan, right? Allegedly, when one particular man, a grown man, worked for the Sussexes, and Meghan made him cry. Meghan made a grown man cry. Well, she makes Harry cry all the time. Poor old Harry. Is it just me, or is this guy always on the verge of tears? Seriously. By the way, I'm going to straighten the tie. We must. Slightly different collar today, by the way. Normally I don't know if you know about this, but I go for the cutaway collar. It's a sort of more open style. And this is more of a pointy downy, sort of more traditional classic collar. But I can't lie, I like the open collar. I like the cutaway. I don't know why. Do you like the cutaway? Let me know in the comments. Cutaway versus classic. The only issue is if you love the classic, I might have a problem because I've got almost only cutaways. So I'd have to invest. Money would have to be spent. Okay, so they're spending money on Sarah Cosmo. Is that her name? Cosmopolitan? It doesn't matter. It's not important what she's called. Her name is Fosmo. And what's that going to cost them, by the way? What is that lady? She worked for Bill Gates, who is a billionaire. So old Fosmo is going to set them back a few quid-a-rooney, isn't she? A couple of dollars. She's going to cost a chunk of change. Are you ready for a little speculation? I can't imagine that she would be paid any less than $350,000 a year. Okay? Maybe more, maybe $500,000. But whatever it is, it's going to cost the couple a chunk of change. And the costs that this couple have are already astronomical. I wanted to just mention, we'll come back to the issue about Meghan's behavior and the staffing and all that in just a second. But can I just quickly tell you that there was an expert on homeware, okay, home improvement expert Justin Nielsen from Wolf River Electric told the Sun newspaper that their Montecito mansion needs around 15 members of staff permanently to keep it in tip-top condition. He said this would include groundkeepers, horticulturalists, pool technicians, and security personnel. He said, given the array of features, including swimming pool, tennis courts, koi pond, children's playhouse, chicken coop, the annual upkeep costs could easily reach $400,000. This estimate accounts for landscaping, utilities, specialized care for the koi fish, who, by the way, are better looked after than poor old Prince Harry. General maintenance as well. He added that staff will be required to work the whole time, so the maintenance of this estate is not a seasonal endeavor, but requires round-the-year attention. Quite shocking, isn't it? And the couple do need their money, because Meghan has revealed in her latest podcast that she doesn't cook half the time. So having just given us a load of BS from her TV show, We'd Love Meghan, about how she loves to cook, which, by the way, involves putting damp lavender towels in the fridge, and which involves sprinkling hallucinogenic flower petals onto food, and which involves transferring stale supermarket bought pretzels into another bag and doing a weird label, right? She calls that cookery. According to Meghan, that's what cookery looks like. She revealed on her latest awful podcast that I listen to, so you don't have to, you're welcome. This is like a public service, I can't lie. She revealed that she gets to take out most of the time. So she's really the Domino's Duchess. That's what she is. Right? It's Wendy's and it's Mackie D's. Right? I'm loving it. It is Goodfellas pizza. Right? Forget about, she's no Martha Stewart. She's not Delia Smith. She's not Nigella Lawson. She's not Jamie Oliver. She's not Gordon Ramsay. Far from it. This woman, she'd never seen a kitchen before that TV show. And now she admits she gets takeout. No wonder Harry's turned into such an outrageous porker. Oh dear, poor old Prince Harry. Humpy dumpy dumpy dump. Let's have another slice of margarita. Washed down with a couple of beers, because Harry drinks the beers to forget. And I feel really sorry for Archie and Lily. No wonder, by the way, we never see their faces, right? It's always back to camera, probably because they've got no teeth. They're eating so much fast food. They're having so many McFlurries. They're like that. So, back to the staffing. It's going to be a disaster. The people that used to work for the Sussexes created a group. They called themselves the Sussex Survivors Club. One insider, quoted in the Times newspaper, said there were a lot of broken people working for the Sussexes. Young women were broken by their behaviour. Grown men were made to cry. And Meghan, by the way, in her defence, she said that she was the real victim of character assassination. But when Meghan and Harry deny accusations about them, I'm reminded of when Vladimir Putin defends himself via the Kremlin's PR machine. It's no different, probably just as unscrupulous. Since they got married in 2018, did you know that at least 18 senior employees have left their employ, with 9 departures occurring since they moved to California? So the rap sheet against the couple as employers is as long as your arm. And now they've hired more people. Don't forget, by the way, a story that we discussed just a few weeks ago on this show. The brilliant royal historian Hugo Vickers, who revealed that Meghan was incredibly rude to a gardener working on the grounds of Windsor Castle when they were at Frogmore Cottage. The Queen got involved. The Queen had to go and have a word with Meghan Markle saying, please stop attacking gardeners. But that's Meghan. She denies the allegations. I'll let you decide. Court of public opinion. Anyway, poor old Sarah Fosmo. I give it 6 months. Sazza, good luck. I've got your back. Meanwhile, Prince Harry, he doesn't seem to have a chief of staff. Harry doesn't get a chief of staff. Meghan gets a chief of staff because she's sort of a presidential figure now, apparently. Harry will get he'll get a sort of a senior advisor. So he doesn't get. So Meghan gets a chief of staff because she's got an empire, and Harry gets basically it's a spare pair of hands. It's a helper. We have to be honest. This is Leanne Cashin, who I've got no doubt is very good at what she does. No doubt she's intelligent and talented and effective, but we know what she's going to look like in a few weeks' time, just. Isn't it? She'll be another of the crystal meth victims. Leanne Cashlin, who's cashing in by working for Harry. All her job will just be to bring him beer and pizza and keep him quiet. Meghan's like, just can keep him like out of my way whilst I build an empire. Leanne Cashin will just be there to keep him mollified and happy. Apparently, though, according to this all-important press release, because the couple have like an office or something, this lady, Leanne Cashin, will be responsible for guiding the Duke through the next stage of his post-royal career. Good luck with that! Sarah and Leanne exemplify the strength and vision driving the Duke and Duchess forward. I'll tell you what's going on here. Meghan's got her chief of staff, Harry's got to help her. This is another flex from Meghan. This is a power move. Meghan is building a power base. So in just a matter of time, and I've already hinted it on the show, there'll come a point. Well, she's already making more money than Harry. Meghan is out-earning Harry by an order of multitude. Because Meghan's got the podcast, she's got the Netflix series, she sells 11 jars of jam. But compared to Harry's measly income, a lot of which is a legacy from his generous family, who he now hates. He got millions when the Queen Mother died. I mean, and then he's like, my family have been horrible to me. Make it make sense. So I think that Meghan's building a power base. She's got her chief of staff. She's got her empire. And it's about freezing Harry out. So Harry, I think, gets pushed out of the business side. And then he gets pushed out of the emotional side. And it'll be separate bedrooms. And it'll be a distant relationship with the kids. I'm telling you, this is a territorial move by Meghan Markle, who is quite simply just a slightly more glamorous version of Vladimir Putin, is what because she's a dictator herself. She's like Vladimir. She's a bully, and she's territorial, and she wants to grow her power base, and she doesn't believe in democracy. And poor old Harry is like some diminutive little Eastern European country that she wants to take over in her plan for global domination. I'm joking, right? I'm pulling your leg about Meghan being Vladimir Putin, but I'm just saying that she is building a power base. And there'll come a point, because of her higher earnings than Harry, at some point, right, where there'll be a big dust up in their home. And she'll say, it's my money, Harry. And this is my mouse. Sorry, my mouse. It's my money, Harry. It's my house. It's my Netflix deal. It's my podcast. It's my business empire. It's my speaking engagement. And these are my children. I honestly think that's what's going to happen. It's going to be a power grab. Because she said in that awful podcast interview with another founder lady, because she doesn't know anyone normal. There was another billionaire that Meghan had an interview with, because Meghan doesn't like ordinary people. She's barely seen an ordinary person before. And she said that she wants her kids to say, you were the best mum. No mention of you guys were the great parents. It was all about she wants the kids to think that she's a great mum. No mention of Harry in that interview with a billionaire lady. I can't remember what the company was. And it was a cosmetics firm. And she writes emails to them every day, which won't be open until they're 18. But it's emails from her, right? Anyone normal would, you're in a marriage as parents, you'd be like, we'll write this email from mum and dad. But no, this is just from mum, because those are her kids. That's the way that Meghan, I fear, sees it, is that those are her kids. And she knows that she and Harry won't be together in 10 years' time. She knows that full well. And she's already planning the split. And she's planning the business structure. I mean, the house could be split in half. He'll get his own side of the house, and she can be in the kitchen with her flower petals and all the rest of it. And he can just be watching a flat screen TV, realizing what terrible mistakes he made as he chows down a American Hot and a Miller Lite. Or maybe a Michelob. Do you remember Michelob? Nice beer. Great American beer. Okay, before we go, two very quick things. So Meghan Markle, the Duchess of Sussex, sat down with Heather Hasson, the founder of Figs, in the latest episode of her forgettable podcast, Confessions of a Female Founder. Heather is a very impressive lady. She started off selling scrubs outside hospitals for cash at 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. So she had this great idea, which is the way that doctors and nurses dress in hospitals is not very stylish, not very glamorous, not comfortable. She's a genius of a woman, and she decided that she would create high quality, comfortable, tailored clothes for medical professionals. So and they're called scrubs. The Americans and others call them scrubs. And she started the company called Figs. Brilliant idea. She worked very, very hard, and her company has grown into a $1 billion medical apparel brand. She's crafted an eye-watering $18 million worth of revenue annually on scrubs. And so that's pretty impressive, isn't it? she is an impressive lady. What she's doing, wasting her time talking to Meghan Markle, is anyone's guess. But yet Meghan introduces her and talks to her like they're equals. It's like, no, Meghan, you're not an equal at all. But she tried to say Meghan tried to say how versatile she is. This is in front of a woman with $1 billion business. And then Meghan's like the great entrepreneur with 11 jars of jam and her mind-altering flower sprinkles. Anyway, so Meghan's like, oh, my education at Northwest University made me the person I am, because she had to not just do acting, she had to do lighting, sound, wardrobe, and sewing. She said you had to do soup to nuts, whatever the heck that means. Every part of what a production would entail, I had to do it. It's incredible training for when you're running a team. She said wardrobe department and sewing were part of the whole thing too. So I'm comfortable with a sewing machine, of course, because Meghan, you're good at everything. Why are you lecturing this billionaire woman who's very successful about how great you are? You should have your mouth zipped shut and listen to the woman whose business is worth that kind of cash. But no. Meghan is better than Queen Elizabeth. She's better than a billionaire entrepreneur. She's better than Mother Teresa. She's better than everyone. And so during the episode, Meghan, the founder that has founded nothing, highlighted several times how she's been consumed with wearing so many hats while creating her business. No, I'll tell you what she's worn. Not hats, faces. She's worn so many faces because she's not an honest person. But she added the types of minutiae that at the onset you kind of have to be across. Every single granular detail is what matters. She said, for me, I don't know how to not have love in the details. What does Meghan know about love, given the emotional destruction for which she is responsible? What does she know about the word love, given that she's disowned her own father, who, by the way, paid roughly $200,000 for her education at Northwestern University, never got a thank you, didn't go to the wedding, and has been cut off by his daughter. And she talks about love. And it's a shocking thing. By the way, last video, Thomas Markle Jr. writing a book. Do check out that video. It's a really interesting video. It's going to be explosive. I cannot wait for Thomas Markle Jr.'s book, which will be even more full of truth bombs than the Mark Dolan show. And also, let me just carry on. So Meghan's podcast is supposed to be an interview where she speaks to people, but she always makes it about herself. And she said, when you're a founder, which she's not, it can get messy, and the best founders are not afraid to get their hands dirty, she said. This is, by the way, a woman that's never done a day's work in her life. And she said, I don't mean play dirty. I mean, when it's clean up on aisle 5 time, you are the first person there with a mop. Can I just be clear with you about this? Meghan Markle has never seen a mop in her life. She wouldn't know a mop if it came up to her and had a conversation with her. She wouldn't know a mop if her life depended on it. Do you think Meghan's ever cleaned up a mess in her life? No, she only makes it. Crazy and wild. Okay, now, before we go, finish on this. We were told through Meghan and Harry's propaganda machine, Instagram, that they had such a great time at Beyonce's cowboy tour. But footage has emerged of Harry looking as miserable as we know him to be. Bored out of his mind, miserable, unhappy, just reflecting on the terrible life choices that he has made. And I think that footage, which has been captured with him not knowing that the cameras are rolling, caught off guard, tells you everything you need to know about his mental health and about the state of their marriage. It is game over. Folks, it is time to say au revoir. Can't wait for the next video. There will be another video tomorrow because the stories don't stop coming. Thank you for your amazing support for this channel. Please subscribe, like if you can, hit the notification or alarm bell so that you get alerted to videos when they drop. We are building a media revolution here. I couldn't do it without you. You're not part of this story. You are this story. And the comments are not part of the show. The comments are the show. So let me know what you think of the show, good, bad, and indifferent. And keep dropping those truth bombs yourself. And I can't wait to see you for the next one. Stay awesome. Big love wherever you are in the world. You could be in North America. You could be in the Antipodes. You could be in Europe, Asia, Africa. You could be in China. You could be in Russia. Vladimir Putin. You could be anywhere watching. Thank you for your support. See you next time. Go and have a good day. Bye for now.